Follow YouTube and Telegram channel at IELTS Research BD.
Part 4. You will hear a lecture given to materials science undergraduates on the use of plastics in the home.
Good morning. In the second in my series of lectures, The Appliance of Science, I'm going to outline developments in plastics since the 1930s, focusing on the unique properties of the different discoveries and how they impact on so many aspects of our daily lives. It's hard to imagine what we do without plastics in their domestic application and also, increasingly, for leisure pursuits. Let's start with one of the earliest forms of plastics, polyethylene, which was invented in 1933. It essentially evolved into two forms. The first, low-density polyethylene, better known as LDPE, is very flexible, and indeed this is probably its most significant feature and one which its developers recognized as important. This means that it's suitable for making things like film and also carrier bags and other packaging materials. High-density HDPE is more robust, and it can be made more so by exposing it to a type of gas. It's particularly used for making rigid containers, for example for milk, or for household cleaners such as bleach. But going back to the 1930s, another key development in plastics was polyurethane. It's still widely used in two forms. The first form is known as blown, and this type is used in the manufacture of furniture, for the padded parts. Blown polyurethane is also still widely used in the infrastructure of houses, as a means of providing insulation, in loft and roof spaces in particular. Polyurethane is also useful in its non-blown form. It can be made into extremely comfortable and stretchy fibre, and nowadays it's widely used for sportswear. Moving to the 1940s, there was another significant departure when polyethylene terephthalate, or PET, was developed. Its first application was in fabric under the brand names of Dacron and Terylene. In addition to being able to be made into fabric, PET has the valuable property of being particularly impermeable and is unaffected by carbonation, which tends to attack other plastics. So it's used in the manufacture of bottles for fizzy drinks and is therefore probably present in most of our fridges. PET is also very resistant to abrasion, and for this reason it is used in the home for trays and other items that are often heavily scratched. Turning now to the 1950s, which for many people was when plastic really impacted on their lives for the first time with a large number of new inventions and applications. One of the most visible parts of this plastics invasion was Earl Tupper's Tupperware, a line of sealable polyethylene food containers. The products were well designed and highly effective, greatly reducing spoilage of foods in storage. However, what Tupperware is probably best known for is the revolutionary techniques its inventor developed for sales. He set up through a network of housewives who sold Tupperware as a means of bringing in extra money. For many people, this method was the first encounter they had with the product. Finally, the 1960s. I'd like to finish by talking about a type of plastic which, to my mind, is one of the most versatile materials ever invented: polytetrafluoroethylene, PTFE, better known as Teflon. This is a non-stick material with hardly any friction, which can be deposited on metal surfaces as a protective coating. It was initially discovered, by accident, as long ago as 1938, but it took until the 1960s for Teflon non-stick frying pans to become an indispensable consumer item. Teflon was later used to synthesize the so-called miracle fabric Gore-Tex. The best-known use of this is for making rainwear and outdoor gear that in principle breathes to keep the wearer's moisture from building up, and so is particularly comfortable to wear for walking. However, Gore-Tex has other uses which are less well known. It is increasingly being used for making materials used for a variety of medical applications. Now, if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.